Assalamu alaikum and very good morning everyone. Hope you all are safe at home. Welcome to our online video channel newszone.bd. Today actually I am going to discuss development of stomach. Actually I divide my session into two parts. Today I will take a class on that is the development of stomach. Come to here, it is the embryo and that is the gut tube. This is the foregut, this is the midgut and this is the hindgut. If we cut at this level or if we cut cross section at this level, and that is the structure of the gut tube. And we know that this gut tube is divided into three parts. One is the foregut, midgut and the hindgut. Actually, the caudal part of the foregut, the midgut and major part of the hindgut is suspended from the dorsal body wall of the embryo by double layer of peritoneum, and this is known as dorsal mesentery. And these dorsal mesentery actually divided into several parts. When the dorsal mesentery suspend the stomach from the posterior body wall, it is known as, or it is renamed into dorsal mesogastrium. When it suspend the duodenum from the posterior body wall, this dorsal mesentery is renamed into dorsal mesoduodenum. And when it suspend the jejunum and ileum, that means the intestinal loop, it is renamed into mesentery proper. And when it suspend the hindgut, that is the colon from the dorsal body wall, it is renamed into dorsal mesocolon. So there is a mesodermal membrane that is called the septum transversum, and there is a bud appears in junction between the foregut and the midgut. This bud is known as liver bud or hepatic bud, and within the dorsal mesogastrium there is another bud appears. This is known as dorsal pancreatic bud. So this portion is the lower part of the primitive foregut. So the lower part of the primitive foregut, it actually forms a fusiform dilatation. And here this gut tube initially or at the very beginning it was a straight tube, but the cells of the posterior wall, that is the posterior wall and it is the anterior wall, the cells of the posterior wall, it grows at a faster rate than the anterior wall. So this posterior wall actually it bulge backwards and it rotates 90-degree clockwise. When it rotates 90-degree clockwise, then it forms or it changes its shape, like that is the shape and like that. So here the stomach has two ends, cardiac end and pyloric end. This rotation actually takes place around the longitudinal axis and it is near about 90-degree clockwise, and 90-degree clockwise. Now the posterior wall becomes the left border and anterior becomes the right border, and previously the right border actually forms the posterior surface and the left border forms the anterior surface. It also rotates around the anterior posterior axis. Actually the cardiac end and pyloric end, they lies in the same midline. In the very beginning of development, now this part of the gut tube or the stomach, it rotates around anterior posterior axis. When it rotates around anterior posterior axis, then this cardiac end actually shift from the median plane and directed slightly backwards, slightly downwards, and the pyloric end now shift from the median plane to the right side and slightly it upwards. Now it forms the adult stomach or adult position of the stomach, and these rotation come to this figure. Here it is the stomach This stomach is suspended from the dorsal body wall by the dorsal mesentery, and from the ventral body wall by the ventral mesentery. Actually, this is the septum transversum, and here from the septum transversum there is a double layer of fold of peritoneum appears, and this is known as ventral mesentery, which suspend the first part of the duodenum, also the lower part of the esophagus from the anterior wall, body wall of the embryo. Now, on either side of the stomach, at the very beginning, there is a two vagus nerve. One is the right vagus, another one is the left vagus nerve. When the stomach rotates 90-degree clockwise, as like that, this vagus nerve, it also alter its position. That means when it rotates 90-degree clockwise around the longitudinal axis, the right vagus now comes to the posterior of the stomach, and the left vagus now come to the anterior to the stomach. That's why in adult stomach, the anterior surface of the stomach is supplied by the left vagus nerve, and the posterior surface of the stomach is supplied by the right vagus nerve. So this is the dorsal mesogastrium, and in the dorsal mesogastrium there is a appearance of a mesodermal proliferation that is known as spleen and the dorsal pancreatic bud, and in the ventral mesentery there is the appearance of the liver bud. Actually, this liver bud it enlarged very rapidly, or it enlarged so rapidly, and this liver bud actually shift to the right side, and around the rotation of the longitudinal axis of the stomach, this stomach it actually pulls, or it shifts the dorsal mesogastrium together with the left side. When the dorsal mesogastrium is shift to the right side, then the ventral mesentery also shift to the right side, and there is a space created behind the stomach, and this space is known as omental bursa or lesser sac, and this is known as the greater sac. So the omental bursa actually form when the dorsal mesogastrium it actually shift to the left side together with the rotation of the stomach. It forms, or it creates a space just behind the stomach. It is known as omental bursa or lesser sac. And this dorsal mesogastrium actually, now there is the spleen. Now spleen together with the portion of the dorsal mesogastrium between the spleen and the posterior body wall, this portion actually, the spleen and the dorsal mesogastrium and the dorsal body wall, they also shift to the left side, or they swing to this portion between the spleen and the dorsal body wall. This portion of the dorsal mesogastrium it also shift or swings to the left side, as like that. It swings to the left side, and now the posterior leaf of the dorsal mesogastrium, when it shift to the left side, as like that, this pancreatic bud now it forms. This pancreatic bud now it forms its adult position, and it lies in the retroperitoneal position, and the peritoneum, which is divided into dorsal mesogastrium, divided into dorsal, and there is the posterior leaf and the anterior leaf. This posterior leaf actually, the portion of the posterior leaf of the dorsal mesogastrium and also the dorsal peritoneum, that is the parietal peritoneum, this posterior leaf of the dorsal mesogastrium and the parietal peritoneum, they actually fused with together and they degenerate. And now this pancreas is only, the tail of the pancreas is only covered by the peritoneum, and this tail of the pancreas now it forms in its retroperitoneal position, and it is the secondarily retroperitoneal organ. So the portion of the dorsal mesogastrium between the spleen and the dorsal body wall, they forms a ligament, and this ligament is known as linorenal ligament. And the portion between the stomach and the spleen, it converts into a ligament, and this ligament is called the gastrosplenic ligament. And together with the rotation of the stomach, the ventral mesentery actually divided into three parts. One between the stomach and the liver, it is known as lesser omentum, and these lesser omentum, this ventral mesentery, it surround the liver and forms some false ligament of the liver, and the portion between the liver and the anterior abdominal wall, it forms the another ligament which is known as the falciform ligament. So the ventral mesentery ultimately it forms lesser omentum, some false ligament of the liver like coronary ligament, triangular ligament, and also it forms the falciform ligament. These falciform ligament actually in the very beginning of the development, it actually carry left umbilical vein. That left umbilical vein later it forms ligamentum teres hepatis or round ligament of the liver. So the falciform ligament contains in adult life round ligament of the liver. That is all about the rotation of the stomach, and I will take another class on the changes of the dorsal mesogastrium and ventral mesentery in later in next session. So thank you very much.